Okay. My screen is a little tiny, but I think you'll be able to see me. All right, we're actually starting today on our feet, which is really different for us. This is a 60-minute class. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Leslie Green, and I teach at the JCC Buffalo. Whether you live in Buffalo or not, they are the ones who are hosting this for us, so super excited about that. Gallery view or speaker view. If you choose speaker view, it'll show me big since I'm the speaker right now, and you'll get to see the moves a little bit better. One thing I wanted to start off by saying is that I'm so happy that everyone is here today, and I know that you all know that, but there's a specific reason why I'm happy that you're here, because I was thinking about it with Miranda. If you're here, it means you're healthy enough and well enough to work out with us right now, and that's really important to me. So let's get started. Healthy and well. We're starting with our arms out wide. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see we're sticking our bottoms out first, making a little arch in our back, opening the arms more, trying to reach the backs of my hands to one another, and then let's round forward. This is our inhale. We're starting with spinal movement today before we get into our core and flexion. Pulling our shoulder blades back together, so getting a stretch through our shoulders as well as opening up at the clavicle. And then our last flexion. Our arms stay at a T. I continue to reach back just slightly this time with my bottom. Palms come down and with a flat back. This is for my hamstrings. I'm not rounding my back. Now let's gather some flowers. Reach down, round the back, gather your flowers, and offer them up. And we'll repeat that. Little arch in our back first. Extend, leading with our chests. I'm having both fingertips pulling out in opposite directions, connecting my mind with my hamstrings. Round the back as we pick our flowers. Gather the flowers, they come up close to our bodies. Interlace the fingers and offer them up. Last time, reach your fingertips out east and west. Slight tilt in your pelvis. And over we go. Connect your mind with the backs of your legs. Feel the hamstring stretch. And let's round the backs into flexion. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms, and up we come. We're staying facing each other now, taking our spine into a lateral movement. So our left hand grabs our right wrist, and we make a little rainbow arc over to the left. It's gentle, and back up. In every Pilates class, we should be moving your spine in all four directions. We've hit flexion already. We've hit extension. Now we're going for the third, which is lateral. And this isn't the only time we'll move our spine, but we want to hit all four in every class. And now let's go for the fourth, which is rotation. So from here, soften the knees, and let's start to swing the arms back and forth. So my knees are moving, and my spine is coming into rotation. If you can tap your kidneys on the way as you're twisting back and forth, that's even better. Tap, tap. Let's go for 4, 2, and 1. All right, now let's see how we gracefully sit down. This may not be all that graceful. The way that I try to do this, take one foot behind and then
Let's go down. And those of you who don't have your cameras on, who knows how you're sitting down. All right, and down we go. All right, so Deborah's got a big smile on her face. Several of you know what's coming. All right, so I don't do this in every class. I like to do it in around every 4th or 5th class just so that we can compare how we are. I'm going to turn to the side and then I'll come to the front. I'll turn back around when we start. So you've got some options. Option number 1 is you keep your feet down the whole time. Watch my pelvis. I tuck it under to lean back. So right now, my transverse abdominis is engaged. And if you don't have weights, this is your starting position. All right? Level 2 is same position, but you lift the feet up. We're going to keep the feet up the whole time that we do this. And if this gets to be too challenging, place the feet down and then up they come. All right? So I'm going to face you so that you can see my arms because now you know how your bodies are supposed to look. So you've got one weight in each hand. Iris, if you've got 2 6s, why don't you hold the 1 6 out? Let's start with if you've got 2 3s or 2 2s, let's have them crossed and they're in close to our chest. Okay, so Iris, you're gonna bring yours in. Let's lean back, tuck the pelvis under and lift the feet up. Now while we're here, let's commit to keeping our feet up as long as we can. We're doing a Russian twist to begin with. Notice my knees are barely moving. Actually, they're not. So try not to have the knees move. Now, if you want your shoulders a little bit more involved, you make your arc higher. We're getting into our obliques already. Now, Iris, or if people only have one weight, in just a moment, you can come up and down, up and down. Get creative with what you're doing with your arms. Those of us who have 2 weights, let's separate them and make cactus arms. We still haven't lowered our feet and we're up and down. So Iris, yes, you can do that. Or you can do a front raise with it. Either way. So what we're doing with our arms, it's not like 3 pounds are hard to lift up and lift down. For most people, 3 pounds are not. We're working our core more than anything. And our shoulders get to be invited to the party too. Good. And let's stop our little cactus arms and reach forward with our arms. And it's a tap down and up, down and up. Nice. How are your cores feeling? Some of you may feel this more in your hip flexors. My hope for you is that eventually you'll feel it more in your core than your hip flexors because your core is taking over. It's doing the work. Now, if you all are hating this, it's okay, I don't do it very often. A lot of shoulder work here. Let's go for 2 more, and we're switching it up for one last movement. Let's hold our arms up, come back to our cactus, coming in and out. And just notice how long you were able to keep your feet up before you drop them and lifted them back up. And next time we do this, maybe it'll be a little longer. Good. I like the stopping and stretching. You may have gotten a cramp, huh? Good. And last 2. And 1. Now with control, we lower our weights and lower our feet. Good. That's our warm-up. Our spine is warmed up, and so is our core. All right, let's get down to some more traditional classic Pilates. Lying down on our backs, knowing that to move better is to live better. So let's move on this Monday together. We're starting with our knees in. Let's rock side to side. Let's go for our 100. Knees are to tabletop to begin with. Slide the hands down and up. And it's inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Lift the legs if you can, extending fully. One leg drops. We're at 60. Switch the legs. Legs come together. Last one. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hug the knees in and rock side to side. We're going for our femur arcs to begin with. So let's squeeze a little penny between our knees and our ankles as we inhale, dip the toes down. They barely tap the water below, and exhale up. And inhale, and exhale. Inhale. Let's take a little pause at the top. Now let's alter our tailbone. From here, take your tailbone, connect it or imprint it in your mat. So you've tilted your pelvis slightly. Now let's do that same move, keeping your low back imprinted on your mat. It just got way harder. Inhale and exhale. Feeling it in the transverse abdominis, so below your belly button, above your pubic bone. Last one. Keep that low back pressing against the mat as you take your feet, your legs halfway out, tap your heels, and come right back up. Going back to level 1 if you need to, but now we've moved on to level 2. And let's go for level 3. Fully extend your legs, reach. Lower with straight legs, lift with straight legs, and bend. And reach, tap, lift. Making sure the shoulders don't scrunch up near the ears. Last one, tap, bend the knees in. And as you rock side to side, just give me 1 second. I think you all could see, that might be a little bit better there. All right, from here, we're going into our series of 5 with no breaks. We're coming up into a little ball. Before we get started, let's have an appreciation for where our shoulder blades are. So my shoulder blades aren't down. I'm up, curled into a little sphere. My right hand is at my right ankle for single leg stretch, and send the left leg out and switch. And switch. If you know your leg or your neck gets tired, you may find a prop, something to help you. In class, we often use a Pilates ball behind our head. And as your core gets stronger, you'll need that ball less and less. Let's switch, continuing with our single leg stretch, but making pillow top hands and pressing on our thighs as our thighs pull into our chests. You should feel it in your lower belly even more for 4, 3, 2, 1. As we inhale, lower. And as we exhale, we prepare for double leg stretch. So it's inhale, pressing out in both directions, and circle the arms as we drag our legs in. Inhale. Every time we extend, we're being pulled like taffy in both directions. Your arms can be out behind you like mine are, or they can be up closer to the ceiling. But let's get that shoulder mobility, big circle around. And we've got 2 more. That was double leg stretch. Inhale, lower the neck. Say no with the neck if it's bothering you. And on the exhale, we're coming into our sphere for the 3rd time. Fingers are interlocked. behind the neck for crisscross. Rotating to the right and reach the left leg out and switch. Let's pay attention to where our elbows are. Elbows are reaching for the ceiling, not the knee. Reach for the ceiling. Think about right underarm to left knee, left underarm to right knee, underarm to knee, underarm to knee. All right, let's keep this up for 4 more. 3, 2, here's our last one. Let's hug our knees in, rock side to side, keeping our head, neck, and shoulders down this time, arms by our side for a lower lift. And now our bodies are in a 90-degree angle, and as we inhale, we lower the legs. Maybe you just lowered here today, and you exhale to lift. See how far down you can go without jeopardizing your low back. You may come all the way down on your inhale and all the way up on your exhale. So my cueing in your movements may be a little different because I may be going slower or lower than you are, but it's always an inhale down and use that exhale to help you up. And let's go for 2 more. Nice, really pretty. Here's our last one. Hugging the knees in, inhaling. And as we exhale, let's come up for scissors. Left leg is long, right leg is up towards the ceiling and switch. Grabbing behind the calf or behind the ankle, behind the thigh works too. Let's take our legs and think about them doing all the movement. So my torso's not moving, my arms are barely moving, and my legs are going tick, tock, tick, tock. Keep the legs going, interlace the fingers, hold your head. Only if you want to come to level 2. Coming to level 3, arms are out long, like 100 arms, but with no bounce. Whichever one you're doing, we've got 4, 3, these are slow, 2, 1, hug our knees in, and rock side to side. Let's take a moment to stretch ourselves out long. Arms come out behind us as well. So this feels very good to just stretch. Tune in with your ribs, and if your ribs are flaring out, see if you can float them into their sockets a little bit better. From here, let's point the toes. Prepare ourselves for roll up. Inhale to prepare, and as we exhale, we nod chin to chest and roll up. Reach forward and get a big stretch. Roll up an imaginary wall, and let's take a break. So from here, I did not show the modifications that I normally show. I'm only showing one modification today, and I want you to try this one if you need a modification and forget about the other ones just for today. So we're all starting by a seated position first. If you don't need the modification, continue on. If you do need the modification, we're rolling down first. I've tucked my pelvis under. As soon as your feet start to lift or you feel like you're about to fall, you exhale up. This next time you try to go an inch further. Inhale, roll. As soon as the feet come up or you feel that dip, exhale. And that's your happy place for the rest of the roll up. If you know you can do the roll up with no momentum, no feet lifting, and no dip, then come with me. Let's use our breath to help. Inhale and exhale, chin to chest, and come up. Up against an imaginary wall. That's to get our spinal articulation. Level 2, we're keeping our hands. I didn't do level 1. I went straight to 2. Our hands are staying parallel to the ceiling and the floor.
And back up for level 2 again. I'm hitting the wall behind me, so move up. Biceps to ears, level 3. Don't come here unless your feet can stay down the whole time. Good, nice. Exhale, use the exhale to help you. Biceps stay by ears. This time, let's flex the feet. If you can grab your feet, great. You're trying to pull your heels off of your mat. If you can't grab your feet, you're grabbing onto the sides of your legs, pulling up with your hands as your torso is trying to get as close as it can to your thighs. It's just a big stretch. We sneak in the stretching in Pilates and typically don't stop and stretch, except for that series that I do kind of 2/3 of the way in. Let's come roll all the way up. Biceps to ears for level 3. Level 2, arms are parallel. Level 1, your hands stay on your thighs the whole time. Pick your arms and let's roll down. Inhale. And as we exhale, lift. Big stretch over. Let's stretch to the right blade of our right foot, looking under our left underarm. Back to center. And switch. Left blade of the left foot, look under your right underarm. Back to center. All right, if you have your strap handy, you can grab it. If you don't have it handy, don't worry. We're really only just using it to guide us. It's not doing anything. It's just easier than imagining a steering wheel. So if you have your strap, we're going to start an exercise called Around the World. So for Around the World, we take left hand over right, and let's roll down our right oblique. So on the right side, I'm rolling, rolling, rolling. I come to the bottom of my mat, square my arms, take my right hand over left, no momentum. I come right back up. We don't change our arms. Right hand is still on top of left. Roll down your left side body. Square yourself off at the bottom, left hand on top of right, and roll up. Let's do one more so our brains know what's happening now. Rolling down on our right side. Left hand is directly above right. Square. Right hand on top of left. I'm rolling up my left side body. Coming to seated tall. And back down on my left side, around the world. Center, left hand to right, all the way up. And we can drop our straps. From here, we're flipping over to all fours, going right into quadruped. So for our quadruped position today, we have wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. So don't have your knees be too close together. They need to be right underneath your hip bones, not your silhouette hips. So hip bones are lined up. And before we get started, let's place a little cup of tea right here on our low backs. So if I round my back, I'm going to drop my tea. If I dip my back, I'll probably drop it as well. Let's keep a neutral spine as we gently tuck our toes under. Let's come to hovering knees, but don't let the cup of tea drop. And so lift the knees. Only 2 inches, no more. As we're here, take a look. Are your wrists right underneath your shoulders? Knees still under your hips? When we do lower, we're going to lower 1 knee at a time. Take an inhale. And breathe through it, exhale. We're not lowering yet. Inhale. And let's lower 1 knee, then the other.
push back into a rest. We're going into a forward spinal extension. So all of that flexion that we just did, this is just counter. It's the counter move for that. If you want your elbows bent, that's fine. And back into quadruped. From here, we're going to do a move. It's a classical Pilates move called leg pull front. It's very similar to, actually, I'm not going to come all the way up because I'm going to show you the different versions of it. So it starts off like a plank. And you don't have to watch me and wait. You can watch me and do it at the same time if you'd like. Inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, we come into our plank. Right toes are back. Left toes are back. Now imagine that you have headlights on your hips. And those headlights are going to aim down towards your mat the whole time. So your hips can't move or else your headlights just moved. Keep the headlights aiming down at your mat, but lift the right leg. It doesn't have to lift high. High is not the point. It's keeping your headlights even, and lower the right foot down with control and lift the left. Notice how much your shoulders are working. Lower the left. Now let's lower the right knee, left knee, and rest. That's leg pull front. We're going to do it again. And then if you want to move on to the advanced version, I'm going to show it to you and you can do it with me. And we're back into our quadruped. All right, so let's repeat leg pull front. Inhale to prepare. And as we exhale, I'm taking one set of toes back and then the other. As I take my right foot up, I'm reaching my left arm long and holding. And I simultaneously lower. I like to lift my leg first and then my opposite arm and hold. Now our brains know what we're doing. Let's do one more on each side, or continue to just move your legs and your arm stays glued. Everything lowers, one knee, then the other. Separate the knees and rest. If your wrists are starting to bother you, don't worry, we're done with everything plank for right now. Let's sit up for just a moment, and if your wrists are bothering you, you can gently press down on them or aim your fingertips towards one another and give a gentle press. From here, we're going prone, which just means we're lying down on our stomachs, and we are going into a low back series. And we do need our weights again, but not until the very end. So we're fine. Coming all the way down. Let's do a little bit of extension before we start. I'm going to take my hands wide. They're lined up with my shoulders, but you could keep yours in narrow. And on my inhale, I'm lifting up. Notice I'm keeping a bend in my elbows, but you don't have to. You can come all the way up. Today, this feels better on my spine. My neck is a long extension of my spine, so it's not looking up and it's not looking down. And lower down. Inhale for one more extension. This time, my body wanted to come up a little bit more. So meet your body where it is today. And lower down. Let's work our low backs. Low back being the fourth part of our core. And we're reaching our arms in front. Let's prepare for swimming. So for swimming, I put big encyclopedias on my back so that my back doesn't move back and forth. My back is stable as I lift my right arm and my left leg. I'm not thinking height, I'm thinking length. Somebody's standing in front of you, pulling your fingertips forward as someone else is standing behind you and pulling your left toes back and lower. Opposite, left fingertips, right toes. Think length, not height. And lower. Now, let's swim. We're keeping our faces above the water. We start with our right arm, left leg, and switch. Our hands never touch the floor or the mat until we're done with our swim. It's slow. And those encyclopedias are on your back, so your back isn't moving back and forth. It's just arms and legs, arms and legs. Try to go fast. Notice it's easier. We're going slowly for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Let's go for Batman. Legs separate a little bit more, almost as wide as our mat, and our arms reach out east and west. My face is still above the water. On the inhale, I lift. But what am I lifting? Just my arms, my legs, and my chest. And as I lower down. So notice we're not lifting our necks. Hold a little clementine underneath your chin as you inhale to lift and exhale to lower. It's hard to talk. Inhale and exhale. Let's add on. We're going to fly to the right first. Inhale up. I fly, lifting my right arm in the direction of the ceiling, away from you. Back to center and lower down. Inhale. Left arm reaches for the ceiling. Back to center and down. One more on each side. Inhale. Reach. Lower and down. Last time we fly. Up we come. Fly to the left. Back to center and lower down. Let's put our legs together. Arms come back beside us. Let's glue our feet down onto our mat to prepare for dart. The feet don't lift. Palms are face up towards the ceiling. As I inhale, I lift my chest, still holding on to that clementine or an apple, and then I lower. Let's add on. Inhale to shine the heart up, lifting the chest. Let's lift our arms and reverse 100, pump our arms. The breath stays even though. Start to pump your arms so vigorously that you can connect your mind with your triceps. Feet are still down, engaged with your mat. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. That's dart. Now that we know dart, let's do it. Inhale, lift, arms lift, and pump, pump, pump. Try to find the triceps. Press your feet against the mat, pubic bone against the mat. Don't drop your apple. And lower down, keeping your knees together. Let's push back into a rest pose. So before we had our knees apart and we allowed our bellies and our torsos to fall through, not this time. Knees are together. All right, for those of you who are familiar, we're about to do the Easter egg. So, let me just get my toes onto the mat. All right, so we are in a rest pose. Your belly is heavy onto your thighs. That is your inhale. That's your rest. Let's turn this into work. On the exhale, pull your belly button up so much so towards your spine that you make room for a little Easter egg in between your navel and your thighs. And as you inhale, crush the egg. That's the rest. Let's work. Exhale, belly button comes up. It becomes difficult to talk. And inhale, crush the egg. Now let's make it big enough for an 8-ball or a cue ball. Inhale. And as we exhale, bring your navel up even more to make room for a billiards ball. And lower all the way down. Let's rest. From here, pull your left glute down towards your left heel. Keep it there as we walk use your fingers, spider crawl your fingers over to the right. We're getting a big stretch in our left side body through our left ribs. Every time I inhale, my ribs are going out closer to you all. My left ribs, inhale, they're expanding. As I exhale, they're contracting, coming in closer to my midline. Inhale and exhale. Let's walk our fingertips back to center. Use your fingers. It's the only time you may move your fingers other than a keyboard all day. Texting doesn't count. All right. Now our fingertips are all the way over to the left. Our right glute is reaching for our right heel. Big stretch under your right underarm, through your right side body, into your right ribs. Inhale, press those ribs away. And on the exhale, the ribs come closer. And one more time, inhale. And as we exhale, the ribs come in close to our sides. All right, we're working our fingers towards the center. Let's slide our hands back as we start to go into flexion in our spine one more time. Tuck the toes under. All right, so from here, with our toes tucked under, I didn't see if Claire was in class or not, but Claire, if you're here, this is your happy place. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers. This might be as much as your feet can tolerate. That plantar tendon that runs behind your metatarsal heads back to your heel, that might be as much as many of you can tolerate. Our goal, can we come up more? Here's our goal. Ears on top of shoulders, shoulders on top of hips, hips on top of feet. It almost looks like I'm leaning back. And this did not happen overnight. This is a stretch that we all should be doing, especially those of us who are prone to the plantar fasciitis, and mine feels like it's coming back in my left foot. And from here, let's come to kneeling. We're going to use our weights for one move before we start our stretch series, and then we're going to grab them again at the end. So let's grab just one weight. And Iris, be careful. 6, I think, is going to be too heavy for your shoulder. A water bottle might be better because what we're doing is leaning over to the side and lifting up to our shoulder height and down. I think 6 would be too heavy. For anybody who has anything going on in the shoulder, 3 works really well for me. So we have it in our left hands. Our right leg is out and my toes are aimed towards you, not away. It makes my hips square. So this would be my level 1 move, coming up to my shoulder height and down. We want to work our right oblique. And in that case, I lean over. Take your right fingertips and you can actually feel that oblique working. And this is the move. You may feel like you're doing nothing to that right oblique until you take your fingers and touch it, and then you go, oh, I am working it. Yes, I am. Because we know to move better is to live better. This Monday movement of ours, it's medicine for our bodies. The movement, the motion, it's all medicine for our bodies. Now, if you're starting to feel this in the low back a little, you know that you're recruiting those muscles. See if you can have it be more about your oblique. And here's your last one. And now let's bring the leg in. Switch hands. We're taking the other leg out. I'm turning my toes towards you. My torso is starting up tall because this might be all I need to activate this left anterior oblique. But maybe you need to go way far over. I'm in between 2 panes of glass though. So I'm not leaning forward or back. Nice. And listen to your bodies, meet them where they are today. So if whatever weight you're using feels good, and I may have said, oh, just use a 3, but you've got something else and it feels good, go with it. I'm just giving you a suggestion that you're the boss of what's going on. My low back is starting to take over a little bit now, so I'm going to just connect my mind with the muscle that I want to work. There, it's out of my low back again. And we've got 3 more. 2. Here's our last one. Nice. Let's leave our weights down for just a little bit. We're going to stretch because I know that you all like it and you always ask for it. It will be a little slightly bit abbreviated today, but that said, do your best to go deeply into every move. So let's bend our knees, placing the strap on the ball of the right foot. Anchor your tailbone down, but not necessarily your low back. There's still a space between my low back and the mat, and I'm gently pulling my leg closer in the direction of my face. My knee is straight, but it's not locked. It's a gentle straight. If your foot starts to sickle in one direction or the other, see if you can keep it straight, connecting with the back of the right leg, and let's open the right leg up. Once you get to that happy limit, let's take the strap and pull the right leg a little bit closer in the direction of the right ear. Leg goes back to ceiling. Let's switch and slide. So what are we switching? We're switching hands. We're sliding left leg down. Allow your right hip to come off as we rotate all the way over. Right shoulder reaching for your mat as you twist through your spine. Coming back to center. Bending the left knee, let's move the strap onto the toes. So here, we're pulling down on our strap, toes are reaching for our face. Let's have that added benefit of taking our heel and pressing our heel up towards the ceiling. Nice. Feeling it in our right Achilles, right calf, all the way up to where the hamstring meets the glute. Let's lose our strap and point and flex. Point and flex. Getting some movement through our ankles. Right ankle, circle in one direction, circle in the other. Grabbing behind the right calf or using the strap to grab behind the right calf. We're bringing our leg similar to that first thing that we did with the strap on the ball of the foot, but I like to lift head, neck, and shoulders. Know that you can keep yours down if you'd like. I like forehead to shin, knee to nose. And as I come down, short number 4. Our number 4 today, we're going to reach through our legs, grab either behind the left hamstring or grab onto the shin of the left leg. As I pull my legs in closer to my chest, can you take the right knee and actively try to push it away? You can either use your elbow or hand or use nothing at all, just use your knee itself and use your leg to try to push away from you with your right knee as you're pulling your legs closer. Let's lower the left foot down. Grab the right ankle with the left hand. Let's keep everything from our ribs up, aim towards the ceiling. Maintain the shape of your legs as you rotate your right foot over to stamp it down on the ground. This should be intense through your right glute, med, and
outer hip area. Both shoulder blades are evenly into my mat. As I come up, I've maintained that shape in my knee, in my legs, extend. And now I've got a tall number 4. I'm going right into my rock and roll, massaging my spine as I come up. Right foot is down, and let's rotate to face one another. I'm rotating to my right, looking over my right shoulder. Big spinal twist. So here's where we get big rotation through our spine. My left elbow is pressing against the outside of my right knee, helping me to facilitate this stretch. Left arm can be up, almost like we're waving to each other, saying hi, or the left arm can be out straight. Let's keep our legs bent like, crossed over like this, and lie down, bending the knees. So we already automatically are in a cross-legged situation here. Let's take our left foot out slightly to the outside of our mat and drop the knees over to the right. So from the ribs up again, aiming towards the ceiling. Ribs, chest, shoulders, up towards the ceiling. We're only rotating through our lumbar spine, low back. And the inside of our left foot is down on our mat. And then let's take our knees up, uncross our legs, and I'll turn around so that we can do the left side. All right, strap is on the left ball of the foot. Breathe into this. You may not stretch again. I hope you do, but you may not stretch again until I see you on Friday. And so see if you can take advantage and make this the deepest, most beneficial stretch that you can. And let's open our left leg to the left. Find that comfortable spot where you feel like, oh, I shouldn't go any farther, and just breathe into it. And every time you exhale, see if you can go just a hair farther. And then the leg comes back a little closer in the direction of the left ear. And let's take the leg up, switch hands. Slide the right leg down. Big twist through our spine. So this is a 2-for-1. It's a spinal stretch as well as an outer hip stretch. And back to center. Bend the right knee and we'll move the strap onto our toes. Toes reach for our faces as our heels reach for the ceiling. You have to do both at the same time to get the benefit of this stretch. So press the heel up towards the ceiling if you can. Think left Achilles, left calf, left hamstring, all the way into your glute. Let's lose our strap and point and flex. Circles. Circles in the opposite direction. Grabbing behind the thigh or the calf. And let's go forehead to shin if you can, knee to nose. And as we come down, we're in that number 4, short number 4, holding either behind the right thigh, so on the right hamstring, or right shin. And this time I'm taking my left knee, and my left knee is reaching away from me as my hands are pulling my legs closer in towards my chest. So it's a push and a pull in opposition. Let's lower the right foot down. Right hand comes to left ankle. Our torsos stay aiming towards the ceiling as we take our left foot and stamp it down. Maintain the shape of that number 4. The left foot has stamped down on the ground now. Big stretch on the left side. As we come up, we'll make a tall number 4. Use your strap or interlace behind your right calf. And let's come to massaging our spine, rolling all the way up, left foot down. And let's rotate our spines to the left, looking over our left shoulder. Hand can be here or reaching down. From here, we're aimed forward, so bodies are back to center. And as we lie down, our legs are automatically crossed. Let's take our right foot and move it closer to the outside of our mat as we take our knees and allow them to fall over to the left. The inside of our right foot is on the mat. One thing I didn't cue on the other side, which is the kind of the progression of this, is you take your left leg and push down as your right leg pulls up. So you're pushing and you're pulling, but you don't have to do that. It's just a little extra oomph. And knees are back to the ceiling. Let's take a moment to hug our knees in, and as we place our feet down, let's put them either to the widest part of our mat or even off of our mat. Our feet are parallel and we're inverting our knees. So it's a collapse inward with our knees, releasing any tension if we are still holding any in our low backs. That's what we're doing here, bringing our knees together. Knees aim up towards the ceiling, and let's extend our legs long. For our last roll up of the day, inhaling, arms are behind us. Exhale and roll up. From here, we're coming into kneeling and a marriage proposal. I'm going to marriage proposal on my right side first, so I'm 90-90. I'm only doing one version of this today, but there are lots of versions. The versions that we're doing, the version that we're doing is we're taking our hips, tilting under with our pelvis, feeling the left hip flexors, and then taking our bottoms back to neutral. So if you know you like the other versions, go there. I just know that I saw several knee people that don't need to put a lot of pressure on their knees. This is enough pressure. So, and it's a really excellent way to get the hip flexor stretch in by tucking the pelvis under, tucking my bottom under, and then coming back to neutral. And let's switch. I'm at 90-90. I take my bottom, which is in neutral, and I scoop under, right hip flexors this time. And back to neutral, and again. You can make this one as intense as you want. Let's come back to neutral, placing your hands on your leg if you need to, or no hands. Tuck the toes and come to standing. All right, let's see. We have balance and strength at the same time. I think that'll work. And
you'll need your hand weights for these. So I'm going to show you different levels. For every level, you can choose to do bicep curls, which really isn't going to feel like a whole lot. It's more about your core balance and stability. So that would be with palms facing forward, a bicep curl, or what I'm going to do today are shoulder raises. They're a little bit harder, but this is what the move looks like. We stand on our left foot. Our right toes are behind us. If we're doing the bicep curl, it goes bicep curl and tap. Bicep curl and tap. That's level 1. Or shoulder raise and tap, shoulder raise and tap. Eventually, level 2, lift the leg, and we'll do it together as well. Okay, so pick your leg. Actually, let's start together with level 1. So pick whether you want to do biceps or shoulders. My right toes are touching, and I'm going to go for shoulders, keeping my right toes engaged. We're all doing it together now. And up and tap. One more like this, and we go to the level 2 move. Take a little pause. Commit to keeping those right toes up. Reach and tap. Takes a lot of core strength and glute strength on the left glute. Shoulder raise. We've got 2 more. The left glute should be feeling it. 2. Last one. And lower. And now the right foot can come down. Let's do it on the other side. So left toes are going to stay there. You've got bicep curls or front raises. So left toes are engaged. And don't remove your left toes just yet. It's a reach and a bend. Your brain is starting to tell the right glute what to do. Take a pause. Commit to keeping those left toes up. Reach and tap. Harder for me on this side. And tap. I'm going a little slower. 3. 4. Wiggle wobble. Last one, but I will not let those toes touch. Come all the way up. And now lower down. From here, let's set our weights down. Sometimes you have to smile when things get difficult. Let's go heels together, toes apart, palms out. Let's hug a little penny between our heels. Don't drop the penny as you lift up and lower down. All right, my palms are going out. I'm gathering up all the positive energy in all of our rooms and all of our houses. As my palms go out, I'm sending it to Iris. She's right on my right. Bob's on my left. I can't see a lot of other people. I think Leslie might be on the other side of Iris. And all the way down. On this next one, let's lift our heels and stay lifted. From here, let's send positive energy to the front of our rooms. And now as we circle our arms around, gather more positive energy, gather more, and let's circle them around again. One more big one. Nice. And take a little pause. Let's go 3 in the opposite direction. My heels are still holding the penny. They're still together. So happy that we had this body movement together. Starting our Mondays off. Some of you may have done gentle yoga this morning. And last one, and as we lower down, I thank each and every one of you for working out with me today. I'm gonna unmute everyone and let me know if you have any questions or if there is something that you would like to see, an exercise or a series that